was oh so simple for Robbie Keane, who keeps on keeping on. Dos Santos did all the dirty work. Keane applied the finish, and the Galaxy are in front. That's not a bad ball either for Boateng. It hits it in his stride, and Zardes is there to double the lead for LA. Giassi with a gem, and the Galaxy are sailing away here in Portland. This is Nagby. Lovely stuff. The shot is on, and it's delivered. There's the spark they've been looking for, and it's come from an unlikely source in Zarek Valentin.
Infield to Chani. Little 1-2 with Meram. Chani still. Chani, yeah! Meram facilitates. Saeed. Come on, trips! Penalty! To make it 2. And number 10. Suspense continues, and Orlando City is back within 1. Stretching it along, Kevin Molino. 3-time USL MVP has Laren. And Orlando City has a tie game.
Montreal does well to slip by. Oyongo in front, and a score for Drogba. Big turnover. Piatti, no whistles. He comes in. What a foot save by Blake. Rebound. And Drogba has 2. No one picked him up. Piatti. Look at this. Drogba's in. He's got the hat trick. Cutting it right. Restrepo. The cross. Back post. Pontius. He was looking, and he scored. Wide to the left. Held up there. Cross is coming. Piatti settles, shoots. Piatti. 4-1. Back the other way. Bernier. He's running like the game just started. Mancosu is in. Off Blake and in. 5-1 Montreal.
Look at this once again in transition, and we've seen that so many times during the game, and you get punished again.
All out assault on the Chicago goal here. Another corner in. Oh, it's loose and it's in. The Revs get the breakthrough. Javon Watson. 2 nights in a row he's scored now, and the Revs get their just desserts.
20 minutes in, here's Javinko's free kick. It's a good run, he scores for Toronto! He's broken the drought! Sebastian Javinko does what he does best, and it's 1-0. Sean Franklin lays it into the middle, flick forward. Oh, and there's an open play for DC United with Jared Jeffrey. He just walked right through, took the pass, and quickly it's 1-1. Hamilton lets it go through to Javinko. Javinko in, Javinko off the post, rebound, scores another one! Here it is, and he's done it! Sebastian Javinko has done it again! Lock it in from the fairway, why don't you? 2 goals for him, it's 3-1 Toronto. Cross for Bloom, there's a ball across it, there it is again, and they've scored! It's Javinko!
Hairston dispossessing. Maybe this is the goal from Alan Hairston. Yes, he does it. It's 2-2. Unlike the weather delay, lightning has struck twice. Into the penalty area. The leading scorer, 6 goals. Ulloa, drive from distance. Oh, what a rocket! What a rocket from Victor Ulloa. And it's all square here. The league leaders have bitten back with a beauty. Laba stepped up, he won it. Good positioning here for Vancouver. The Dynamo in trouble. Morales will let it go, and it skips into the arms of Joe Willis. He bends it in. Oh, it's deflected! And it's almost like self-defense. It's repelled away by Osted. It was Bruin getting into that near post.
Grella, Felipe, Kleshcik on the turn. Kleshcik cutting around. Now Ryan Phillips! 7 goals in 6 games against his team's crosstown rival, Bradley Ryan Phillips, giving the red half of New York the lead. Now swinging corner, found the head of Zumar. 2-0 Red Bulls. Beaten to it by McCarty. Briant knocks it up in the air. Looks like a handball. It is. Penalty for the Red Bulls. Patrick Vieira put down to the fact that they were on the road midweek before the 7-0 loss. Here's McNamara shooting from distance. What a goal! Tommy McNamara. Never mind this talk of a blowout. New York City want to make this a game. And McNamara scored one of the best goals we've seen this year.
It looks like, yep, Taylor is going to go out to that right-hand side, and Jack Harrison's going to...
Ryan Phillips running onto that ball. Ethan White running with him. Got to get a tackle right. He's able to force him wide. Saunders goes to ground. Ryan Phillips an empty net, and he scores. Second of the day. Fourth for the Red Bulls. That is a former player. What's the line between celebrating a win against a rival and sort of what is showboating and deserves retribution? As Ethan White is going to get his second yellow card, and he's going to be sent off for that tackle on Gonzalo Ferron.
Zusi to Espinoza. Back post, Dom Dwyer puts it away. Kansas City has the breakthrough, and Dom Dwyer has the acrobatics to match. Cuts it back for Peterson, top corner. That's the goal that might break Seattle backs. 2-0 Sporting Kansas City. That's given away. Here's Dom Dwyer to put it away. Out of reach. Dom Dwyer's got 2. KC's got 3. And Seattle is stuck in 9th.
Culture. It is. I mean, I think any culture that the sport is important, kids are going to play on the street. They're going to play in their spare time. They're going to turn on the TV and see a game. They're going to want to go outside and replicate it. And so we see that here with basketball, and you see participation in massive numbers in soccer. But we want to get those kids playing informally, right? Like that's the difference. That's when the culture is at a tipping point. The kids are going out and they're meeting their friends at the park and they're playing.
I grew up a basketball fan. I grew up a Laker fan, and it's pretty apparent that there are similarities between the two sports. I think both sports are on the incline, while other sports in this country seem to be a little bit on the decline, and the reason for that is I think they're tapping into the millennial culture, the hip-hop culture, the urban culture. And I think basketball does that really well, and I think Major League Soccer is starting to do that really well too.
We've talked a lot on the show about culture, but mostly off the field, how people are connected to their club, how players are connected to their communities. But culture matters as far as how we play on the field as well. In North America, it's a lot more structured environments, coaches, training sessions, drills. That's not how the game's being played in other places. It's a lot more intuitive, street soccer style. It's actually a lot more like basketball's being played here. Everybody sees the end product, but tell me about your development, playing soccer specifically, and how you first kind of got into it.
It's much different now, as you can imagine, and as you know, you lived, than it was when we were starting to come up. So I didn't have great coaches. I didn't really have coaches, period. I had one good coach when I was about 12 or 13. But other than that, everything I did was on my own. And so you talk about the basketball crossover and how it's similar to soccer. When I see kids on the streets playing basketball or just dribbling a basketball or shooting at a random hoop in the middle of New York City, that's how I grew up playing soccer. I mean, I took a soccer ball outside and I kicked the ball against the curb for hours. There's no replacement for that. You can learn all the tactics and formations and all this stuff, but there's no replacement for just touching the ball and learning how to play on your own.
I did the same thing. Mine was probably in my house more though. I used to set up chairs and like dribble around them. And
I'm sure your parents love that.
Yeah, my mom really happy, just basically breaking everything in the house.
Thanks for coming out, everybody. It's an honor for us to be able to do this for the 9th year. Couldn't do it without your support. Hopefully it'll be the best one ever. We'll do it again next year. Thank you.
It's a really cool event. It's going to the Steve Nash Foundation. They do everything from helping kids who are facing poverty, illness. It's really cool that they're doing this, and you can see just it's a bunch of his friends who have come out from basketball, soccer, different circles coming together to have a good time. Can't go wrong. Second time here at the Steve Nash event, Showdown. Still can't get the call up to play, but I'm gonna give these guys a hard time until they let me on the field. Steve puts the Chelsea goalkeeper on his squad and NYCFC ticket guy on the other team. Very convenient. I think this may be rigged. I need to see more from Landon early. I know it's early in the match, but it's just got to be better. Look at him. He's still not getting back on defense. That's what happened to those MLS Cups. He's just cherry picking. Landon, why are you always cherry picking, man? Staying up top, and he gets all the glory. I already know how this game's going to end. Landon's going to wait till late, give the other team some hope, maybe even let a guy like myself get a goal, maybe feel good about themselves, get their hopes up, and then crushes him. Steps up, he gets the glory. He knows what he's doing. I'm not bitter, though. I'm not bitter about it. Landon, congrats, man, you know? You got your MLS Cups. I hope you're happy. I'm happy for you.
When I was in high school, 90% of my basketball education, so to speak, was informal. I'd go to practice, but 90% of my games and plays and shots were outside of practice, and that's because I had friends that loved it and we could see it on TV all the time. And that's what it's like for football in most countries, it's everywhere, and that's what you do. There's not even a choice. We're going to go, you guys want to play, we go play football. So in our country, and we're also now competing with smartphones and screens and stuff. So it's just something that's going to take time, but it's coming around, and you learn the most things when you teach yourself, and then you refine it with coaching.
Irv Smalls is a football guy, won the Rose Bowl at Penn State, but he's a soccer guy now. After working a few years at MLS, he saw a gap in opportunity in the inner city and started a club, FC Harlem, tucked away between the West Side Highway and the train tracks. And if you didn't know where to look, you might just miss it. Why Harlem?
I say, why not soccer here? There was a perception that, soccer is a white sport. We don't play. And you're trying to bring a sport that we don't play here. You're trying to change the community with the sport. And I had to deal with a lot of that within my own community. So that's why I tell people, we've always taken an approach here that it's kind of it's community first, culture, full aspect, and then soccer. If someone says there are fields like this one here, that sends a message I can play there, And I think that's really important. I remember Henri was here with the Red Bulls and he said, don't let anyone tell you that a field like this is not good enough. I wish I had a field like this when I was growing up. He said this would be a great place to learn.
Lions on 3. 1, 2, 3, Lions!
FC Harlem represents a new path for these kids to be seen by MLS clubs, and they're taking notice. MLS academies didn't exist just a few years ago, and now they're providing professional training for players from diverse economic backgrounds, building fields in underserved neighborhoods.
This is going to have such a good impact on the lives of our children.
NYCFC recently announced an initiative to build 50 fields in the next 5 years, adding to the mini pitches already built by U.S. Soccer Foundation and MLS Works alongside the New York Red Bulls.
We've started to create some mini pitches here and there, whether that's in Newark or whether that's in the city. And it's important if we want to tap into or be part of that urban base of soccer, it's important to create pitches. There's a lot of concrete And so how can we be part of creating spaces where kids can play? As a young player, you really learn through trial and error, and in those environments, it really gives you the opportunity to try really cool, neat tricks, things that you might not try in a structured environment. Soccer, it's the most diverse game in the world, and it's played by everyone of all different races, shapes, sizes, genders. A local kid has got to be able to look up at the first team roster and see someone on Red Bull Arena and see that maybe they either look like them or maybe they came from their area of town. Maybe they grew up with the same socioeconomic status, whatever the case, but those commonalities are really, really important.
You hear all the time, if our best athletes, and I think by that they mean black people, played soccer instead of basketball, or NBA players played basketball, that we would be better off. What's your take on it?
Well, again, I don't think it's that simple. Sometimes a conversation comes up that says, LeBron James is playing soccer, it'd be so much better. Maybe those skills don't automatically translate, but I do know what they're talking about. There is often, I think, within African Americans, whether you grew up in an inner city environment, whether you grew up in a suburban environment like I did in Hershey, there's a fight and drive that we have that often comes out in sports. That comment is being heard by us, or you hear from us, because we know what we can bring to the table. It's like, show us where we can play this game, teach us, we'll listen. We may add something extra to it that, you know what, everybody else likes seeing it in basketball, you like to see it in football, you see it in tennis, let us bring it to you in soccer.
Soccer traditionally, I mean, I hate to say it, but it's been sort of a rich person's sport in this country, right? Because the whole pay-to-play structure. I hope that changes because soccer is such a beautiful game when you can just go and play.
Sometimes we look at how we can develop and we are always looking for more. Like, could the answer possibly be less?
I don't think there's any question that that could be the answer. Now, at a certain age, you need some structure and you need to learn things the right way, but I learned in 3 ways: playing, watching on TV, and this sounds really stupid, but playing video games. And I just like watching that and saying, oh, like this guy did this in the game, or he made that pass, or that's what a through ball is, or that's how you hit a corner kick. And that's how I learned. I didn't have somebody telling me or teaching me. You just learn by doing and by watching, and I think that's a really good way to learn for some people.
People here in the U.S.
With dribbling, it's a split second. Behind the leg pass, doing no looks, putting the right English on it, just play a ball that gives you the best opportunity. And it doesn't always have to be the most flashy thing, it just has to be quality. I think it starts off at a young age. You know, you gotta love the ball. The way you treat it, it's gonna reciprocate on the field.
You have to treat it as your friend and work on your foot skills every day.
Sometimes you are at home and the ball is just there, and you do something. You dribble the dog, you dribble the children. It's part of our day.
Cuidado, Víctor, que fue por la izquierda, De muy chico, iba a la casa de mi abuelo y me enseñaba muchas cosas de, por ejemplo, patear de derecha o de izquierda, que cuando era chico uno ¿viste? Nunca sabía, uno decía ¿para qué? Y bueno, a la larga la verdad que te conviene porque uno sabe patear con las dos piernas.
No, está difícil, Nacho, está difícil. Rápido.
The trick of being a good dribbler. And it's basically just trying to put people off balance. Try to get them to either be tracking backwards or to shift their weight one way and take them another way.
Nagby switches gears.
Nagby's good because of his pace and taking smart touches.
Nagby's like a pinball.
I love the ball, love to get touches on the ball, but I never try to overdo it unless I'm stuck in a situation.
I think Valeri is really good, just with his vision, being calm on the ball.
Robbie Keane cuts it back. Here's a chance for the captain. Fires! Scores!
Robbie Keane, he can cut it whenever he wants, fake a shot, and you never know when that's going to come.
Here's David Villa.
Intento tener la pelota en mi control, no acercársela mucho al rival cuando lo voy a regatear y bueno, luego pues es decisiones de segundos que tienes que decidir.
It's sometimes just intuition. You have the ball and two players coming and you don't have time to think. You just have to act.
I like to touch the ball every single step.
Remember, Mané can fly.
If I kick it 5 meters away, it's not mine. It's 50-50 between me and the defender.
Will he take him on? He does it. He's by Kakutamane. He's looking to play another ball. Let the shot go. Top of the 18. Post it in. Kakutamane. What a goal! Whitecaps counter and take a 2-1 lead.
Hay mucho espacio. A mí me gusta encarar al defensor. Me gusta ir a buscarlo y generar ese 1 contra 1. Si él se mueve para un costado, yo voy para el otro. No sé, un instinto. El dribbling o la cosa que quiero hacer.
Voici Piatti qui tente de s'écarter, reste sur ses pieds après un pivot. Piatti. Et un tir de loin, le but!
I wasn't the fastest kid growing up, so I had to figure out a way if I wanted to keep the ball that I could shield it from my opponents. You're freestyling, but you're doing moves that you've done before. If you have a clear shot, you're probably going to take it. But if you feel like your shot is going to get blocked, you need to figure out a way to create space for yourself. Kind of how I look at it. Everything is in a freeze frame. You're looking at a photo and you're thinking, I don't really like that photo. I'm going to cut the ball back. And you look, that's a better photo. You're just trying to get the best photo that you think is going to help you to get a goal.
Great international championship matches for you, and it all starts at 1 p.m. Eastern. Here they are on your screen on ESPN. All three also available streaming live on Watch ESPN as well as that ESPN app. Three things before we let you go. In May, when Rob Gronkowski was named the cover star for Madden 2017, I asked him what his signature dish is. He likes to cook. He dodged it, saying his favorite is his mom's chicken souffle. But he's also good at breakfast food, apparently. When asked today about Jimmy Garoppolo's scrambling, Gronk had this to say.
Hay momentos que
Scrambles better than top.
Don't do the dribble. Just
no one makes better scrambled eggs than me.
It's going to be a shortcut for our.
Okay, sounds good. And remember when Kirk Cousins showed up to Redskins camp last year in a conversion van? Sadly, Cousins wasn't able to pull that van into camp this year because after leaving it at the park over the summer, now it won't stop. So he's vowing to get it running in time for camp. Okay, also on the subject of Washington football team owner Dan Snyder with a meaningful gesture. For decades, Chief Z, the man you see here, he was a staple of games. He passed away last week. Snyder paid for his funeral. Snyder had previously paid for a motorized scooter for Chief Z after he had his big toe amputated. That's an all-star move. And coming up next, we've got the MLS All-Star Game. That's going to do it for us tonight. See you right back here tomorrow.
Do you know the way to San Jose for the MLS All-Star Game? Coming from the league's newest venue, the spectacular Avaya Stadium, the biggest names in Major League Soccer come together as a collective, seeking to add one of the big names of world football to their list of conquests. Today, that is one of the most successful teams in England and Champions League regular Arsene Wenger and Arsenal. The Stars and the Gunners will be out tonight in Northern California next. Welcome to the 2016 AT&T MLS All-Star Game. ESPN's coverage is presented by Audi. Always one of the more anticipated dates on the MLS calendar. Right at the top, it's time to have a lot of fun, and while it's not a must-win for the Major League Soccer All-Stars, always nice to get a feather in the cap against one of the top names in world football. Today they get that chance against Arsenal. It's hot, the air quality's not so great. No complaining from me, Max Bredos, and those who will join me down here, Casey Keller and Alejandro Moreno. The unofficial halfway point of the MLS season, a good time to talk about what's happening in the league. And Alejandro, I'll start with you. What sticks out, the top storyline for you thus far?
It has to be NYCFC. This is a team that came into the season with a whole lot of questions.
the older players, the veteran players, are they going to be able to produce? Pirlo, Lampard, David Villa, and of course you have Patrick Vieira, new head coach in this league. There hasn't been a lot of success from European coaches coming into this league. Patrick Vieira has his team in first place. However, and there's a however, this is a team that has allowed 39 goals in Major League Soccer, worse in Major League Soccer.
And they are.
And somehow they're in first place. Is it sustainable? They have to improve defensively.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think Patrick Vieira really needs to kind of figure out what they can do defensively as a whole. You can see the firepower they have going forward, and that's kind of papered over a few cracks, I think, at times. But clean up the defense, they look good. And then for me, the other issue, that was the positive, and I think the not so positive is kind of what's happened to the Seattle Sounders in this first half of the season. They're 10 points adrift of the playoffs. They're in 9th place. And when that happens to a club that's had so much success, then a lot of times they part ways with the manager and Ziggy Schmidt being shown the door a couple days ago. So what is the direction that this club is going to go from here?
Well, there's got to be an evaluation there taking place from the players. Because when the coach loses his job, yes, some of it is on the coach, but a lot of it is on the players as well. And a lot of those guys in that squad, in that locker room, are not producing individually and as a group. They have to look at themselves and find an identity that this team has not shown throughout the course of the season.
So Brian Schmetzer's going to be put in charge?
And good luck.
To right the ship for the last 15 games. Looking at the glass half full, this is about the time the Portland Timbers flipped the switch after a so-so first half, went on to win MLS Cup 2015. Maybe it happens again. We shall see. Maybe things go the wrong way for NYCFC. So much to discuss. Now, with regards to the MLS All-Stars, this 26-man group, is it the most deserving group? Probably not, but you have electrifying, and you have big name, the biggest star names, without a doubt, the biggest earners in Major League Soccer participating. Hard to get much bigger than Kaká, once the FIFA World Player of the Year. Didier Drogba will also be involved, and here is the starting 11. Your coach, Dominic Kinnear, for the home-standing Earthquakes, leading the charges.
And this is the assignment that Dominic Kinnear had to put up with, the idea of balancing a team that is heavy offensively. Andrea Pirlo, Kaká, and Beckerman, a lot of experience in that midfield. Giovanni Dos Santos, Drogba, and of course Villa, who has been so very productive for NYCFC.
It's always a question on how long players play, how long you have to mix it up to keep it fresh and to keep it going. I think at different times this MLS All-Star team has succeeded late in matches because they've been able to bring on so many players, change things up when maybe some of the squads they're playing against aren't quite as deep as the All-Star team. Good credit to the All-Star team. Jelly Van Dam, Kellen Acosta, the last two players added to this roster, starting 11 this evening. Their opponent, Arsenal, still eluding that big Premiership title, but they have such success under the man who has been in charge for the last 20 years. Now calling Emirates Stadium home, the old Highbury, where they had a fever pitch back in the day. There is Arsene Wenger, still in charge. Say what you want to say. Champions League football always on offer for this team. 2003, 2004, the best they had reached. Dennis Bergkamp, Thierry Henry leading the way. Patrick Vieira now a member of this Major League Soccer coaching crew. And then the 12 FA Cup titles, most recently in 2015, the last time they struck silverware. All under the man and under the watch, Arsene Wenger, who are Monica Gonzalez and Sequin.
Arsene, just 1 week into preseason, what are you hoping to learn about your squad today?
That we are already fit, that the quality of our game is there, because we have a continuity in our squad. And I have today as well, I play some young players, you know, it's very interesting for me to see how they cope under pressure a little bit, and to see if they are at the level to play a big part in our season.
Coming off one of the best seasons in Premier League in over 10 years, what are you looking to reinforce? What areas of the team are you looking to reinforce this offseason?
Look, we were a bit short on goals scored, and so we try to certainly strengthen a bit that department as well. We, as you know, maybe we have just lost Per Mertesacker for a few months, so defensively we need to bring some more experience into our squad. I think in the middle of the park we have enough players.
He says they're fit, they're going to have to be. Their Premier League season kicks off in 2.5 weeks. They open with Liverpool, and then the reigning champions Leicester at their place the following week. several Arsenal players involved in big international duty, Casey, so not with the squad here, but it is Arsenal. They have class, and this is the 11 they'll begin with.
Well, I think defensively, most of all, it's going to be an opportunity for young players like Holden and Bielik to be able to come in. The absence of Mertesacker, you heard that for a couple months. Koscielny picks up a little bit of a knock. We're wondering to see in the Euro final how long he'll be able to go. And you look at a team in Arsenal with Jack Wilshere. That's a name that I want to pay attention to. A player that has shown us that he has the talent, but cannot stay fit. And if you're you become useless. Season and an important preseason for him so that he can work his way throughout the Premier League season.
From a CONCACAF perspective, Joel Campbell with a chance to impress in 5 prominent minutes for Arsene Wenger and Arsenal not get shipped elsewhere. Now let's set it up. You saw Monica, the other two members of our broadcast crew, Adrian Healy, Taylor Tolman. Your thoughts, gentlemen?
Thanks very much indeed, Max. Looking forward, as always, to seeing a who's who when it comes to the MLS talent out there. For the opponents, we just saw the lineup, Taylor. Perhaps a little more of a case of a who's that. A lot of big-name players not here, but that provides an opportunity for some of the younger Arsenal stars.
It does, Adrian, which is the subject of my Continental Tire Analyst Corner. When you look at the games of the past, we've seen a lot of young players use this game to jumpstart their career. You think of Dele Alli last year, Alessandro Florenzi, Romelu Lukaku, all three players have played a huge part of their country's European championships this past summer. So while tonight, from my point of view, I love seeing the Kakas and the Drogbas and Javinkos, Dempsey's, and David Villa's on the field. I also look at this Arsenal team, the young players, Alex Iwobi, Christian Bielik, who's starting at center back, two players that are highly rated from Arsene Wenger. We may see and hear from them in the future.
No doubt about it. Dominic Kadir and the MLS All-Stars, what a win here tonight, and they have a good recent track record of beating European opponents. Max?
Big day. We look forward to the kickoff. We look forward to much more from Avaya Stadium, where we will catch up with a couple of these MLS All-Stars ahead of this big test against Arsenal. As you will see, lots of red here. We know you all have a friend who says his favorite team's Arsenal, whether he's ever been to London or not. That's his favorite team. That's the appeal they have. We're about 22 minutes away from opening kickoff. We'll be back right after this. As you will see, lots of red here. Leading man for their teams. That's Columbus on there. Absolutely amazing start. Brilliant play. Stop.
This is where it begins, Captain.
The critics have spoken. Star Trek Beyond has an incredible score on Rotten Tomatoes. It's the best action movie of the year, and now the #1 movie. Rated PG-13.
It's Peyton. It's Peyton on Sunday morning.
You know, with DirecTV NFL Sunday Ticket, you can watch your favorite team no matter where you live, like Broncos or Colts. Cool. 18, the old number. Ooh, I have got a coupon for that one.
It's Peyton on Sunday morning.
Nope.
Get NFL Sunday Ticket only on DirecTV and watch live games anywhere.
No, I didn't make that purchase. Someone must have my card number. Like to give me a debit card right now? Thank you. All right, everyone, follow me.
Coach, the gym is that way.
Okay, everyone, do some squats.
Come on. This may take a while.
Here's your card.
Thank you.
Instant issue debit cards. Security, convenience, together.
Well, that was fast.
Wells Fargo. Together we'll go far.
Where next? The dentist?
Steak used to cost an arm and a leg. But now you can get new tender braised steak and melted cheese wrapped in a warm flatbread for just $1.49. Taco Bell steak flatbread sandwich. Eat it with them.
When SMART started in 1906, the maximum speed limit in the cities was 10 miles per hour. Nowadays, you can buy a new 2017 Elantra with 0 down and $249 a month. Make the smart drive to Smart Hyundai in Whitehall.
The
Ford Freedom sales event is going on now at Landers Ford. This month, get up to $10,000 off MSRP on new 2016 F-250s. Hurry in, Landers Ford, where nobody beats a Landers deal in Benton.
Smart was founded in 1906. There was only 8,000 cars. Today, we have more cars than you can imagine. So let Smart help find the right one for you. Make the Smart drive to Smart Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC in Whitehall today.
Welcome back here. 19 minutes and change. You'll see a lot of Arsenal shirts. This is a big draw. You know about Barcelona and Manchester United. That's why Major League Soccer wanted them here. A lot to keep you busy, including that. Another NBA championship. Didier Drogba is also had a hat-trick coming into this game. Our Monica Gonzalez spoke with him.
Didier, you're as accomplished as any modern-day footballer, but what has it meant for you to come to North America, dominate the way you have, and now been named an MLS All-Star and be part of this event?
Well, I'm very proud to be part of this team. You know, all these players here, Kaká, Jovinko, best player last season.
And works very hard at finding your ideal host.
And Clint Dempsey, all these guys, you know, I think it's a very, very good all-star team, and I'm very proud to be part of it.
10 years you played together with Petr Cech. That's a long time, a lot of practices to get to know somebody. Do you think you're going to get one past him today?
I have to. Yesterday we had a coffee and we spoke about it, and I want to score. He doesn't want me to, but I will do my best.
Thank you very much. Good luck today.
Clint Dempsey, all-star. There he is. Really hasn't had his MLS season come off the ground due to international duty. He's been very successful with London clubs, and he's played Arsenal 8 times, but not in this form. 13 games this season. And it's been a good summer for Taylor. Twoma gets ready to talk to Clint Dempsey in our Heineken boot room, and talking about Clint Dempsey, who makes his 6th All-Star appearance. He's also made the semifinals of the Copa America with the United States. But tomorrow it's back to Seattle Sounders. Taylor asked about all those topics.
After the World Cup, you were asked about your international career, and you said, I'm going to look at the 2016 Copa America and then I'll address it then. Well, now that's in the rearview mirror. Where are you with your international career right now?
You know, still trying to be a part of things if they need me. Looking forward to September. Hopefully get the call to play in those games. Those are very important games against St. Vincent, Trinidad. If we don't get the job done, you won't find yourself in the Hex round. So, you know, that's kind of eyes are on that and kind of taking it year to year.
So is Russia a goal for you?
I mean, if the stars aligned, yeah. You know, you're able to keep playing at a high level and, you know, producing, and you can go until then, well then, yeah, that would be awesome. But you can't just say that's what you want and it's going to happen. There's a lot of factors that play into that, and we'll see how it goes.
Clint, you're arguably the best player to ever wear the U.S. national team jersey. You're at the twilight of your career. I'm looking at that Russia World Cup. But we saw in 2014, everyone in the soccer world was shocked when Landon Donovan wasn't taken to the World Cup. Is part of you a little nervous about Russia in a couple years?
Well, it's kind of what will be. You know what I mean? You can't always control what's going to happen with your career and representing your country. So it's kind of a tough one. You take it as it comes. You try to put yourself in the best position to try to accomplish the things that you want to accomplish and end on the terms that you want to end. But at the end of the day, it's not always in your control.
Have you talked to Klinsmann about your role with the team in the future?
A little bit, yeah. I mean, you know, he wants me to continue to score goals, and that's what I love doing. And to be able to represent your country, play for your national team is an honor. And like I said, if the stars aligned, yeah, I would love to be able to be a part of the World Cup in Russia.
You're talking about pushing to the end. How much of that is all-time leading goal scorer for the U.S. men's national team?
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I mean, you know, to be able to reach a milestone of that, or to be one of the few players for the U.S. that's played in 4 World Cups. I mean, there's Shaper. Hopefully it's in the cards for me, and we'll see what happens.
Showed at the Copa America he's a big part of the national team. Needs to get better with what he does with the Sounders to make sure he'll be part of that Russia. Go to ESPNFC.com. You can see the remainder of that Clint Dempsey interview in the Heineken Boot Room bus with Taylor Twellman. Interviews with All-Star Gio Dos Santos, Andrea Pirlo, and many more. And cruising with Chris Wondolowski. Wondolowski amongst the All-Stars there. A look inside of the locker room. Not too many nerves, but they know this is a big moment to get a win. Put Arsenal down a rung. We'll be back.
Thank you, guys.
Oh, I got this.
One Hamilton, one full rack of ribs. For $10, get a full rack of Jack Daniels or barbecue ribs or bourbon barrel chicken.
They said I wasn't born in the right country, that what I had to offer was something that America doesn't buy. But I earned their respect. My name? You can call me Soccer.
What do you want for lunch, honey? Can I have some KFC original recipe?
Excellent choice. But might I suggest something a little extra crispy? My extra crispy $5 fill-up is freshly double-breaded by hand. It's a tasty real meal for just $5.
Mine extra crispy, boy?
Sure, kid. KFC. It's extra crispy good.
The whole process of buying a home, it was terrifying. We didn't know if it was even something that we could plausibly do. But having this estimate in which they kind of calculate out what the approximate value of that house maybe should be, it took all the kind of scary risk away. I can't tell you how much happier we are having a place of our own.
Whatever home means to you, we'll help you find it. Zillow.
Chris Bryant is a technician. He really loves to hit.
Swing and a towering fly ball way back left field. Forget about it.
Chris Bryant has sent Wrigley Field into a state of pandemonium.
Sunday Night Baseball presented by Taco Bell. Mariners, Cubs, Sunday at 8 on ESPN and streaming live on Watch ESPN and the ESPN app.
Ram trucks are built to work, to play, tow, and haul. They're built to get the job done and go the distance. Ram trucks are built to be America's longest lasting pickups.
Right now, get $9,500 in total values on 2016 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab models in stock the longest.
Summer's here, but we're the ones bringing the heat. Consider this your invitation to the Dodge Summer Clearance Event. Right now, during the Summer Clearance Event, get a low-mileage lease on the 2016 Dodge Challenger for $140 a month.
Welcome back, Avaya Stadium. Oh, it's all happening here. 6 matches coming your way on Saturday on the ESPN networks and our digital platforms. Of note, 3 p.m. Eastern Time from the Big House in Ann Arbor. Real Madrid and Chelsea. Saw Cristiano Ronaldo walking the streets of Rodeo Drive, doing some shopping. He's here in the U.S. Peter Header Hadrocek says it's wide open if you'd like. There he is. Good moment there shared with Kaká as we get ready for the 2016 MLS All-Star Game. The Audi Player Index, it will be in effect here. Now, the 2016 leaders, you got to give it up to Seba. Not only leads the way, but by some distance over Diego Valeri, inactive, but an All-Star. Sasha Kleshchin is an All-Star. He is being mic'd. And we got some good sound from him already. Let's take a listen.
Wait at my feet, man. I'm not a runner. I'm not a runner. Hey, I don't care what everybody else says about you. I think you're pretty good with your feet, man. Come on, dude. DC United, New York. Let's stick together. I know, like, we're Atlantic Cup rivals, and I hate you, but we'll be friends today, all right? I spoke to the coach earlier. He said he wants to try something different than what you usually do. So when you get the ball, you try to give it to somebody on our team. You don't give it to the... That's how you do it, eh?
I think they picked the right guy to Mike. I think they did. Although I tell the jokes around here.
He was obviously having a good time. Hopefully he can move that into a little bit more seriousness once it gets on the field.
You may not have heard of the last go. Casey Keller, Alejandro Moreno, gentlemen.
I'm glad you're trying to produce this show. Look, I think when we talk about all-star games, and the one word that comes to mind is perspective. If MLS goes out here and plays well and beats Arsenal, it doesn't mean that now MLS is on par with the Premier League. If MLS somehow doesn't do well against Arsenal, it doesn't mean that MLS is not competitive. How about we just enjoy the game,
there you go.
Enjoy the moment, celebrate our stars, celebrate the fact that Arsenal is here, have a good time.
Yeah,
we're having a good time.
I think most importantly, just understand that you've got MLS players in the middle of their season who don't need to get injured in a game like this. You've got Arsenal players in the middle of their preseason who don't want to get injured. Go have a nice competitive match, understand what it is, put on a show for the crowd here and on TV, and have a great time.
By the way, we have 2 DJs out there, so we have 4 turntables and 2 microphones.
It's different.
Yeah, I know, but it's exciting. We are having fun here. And as Arsene Wenger alluded to, this is a nice opportunity facing players that are in mid-season and give you a good chance. And Alejandro, we understand it's a celebration, but I remember the wins by MLS clubs over big European teams.
Well, that
gives us a sense of pride.
Look, it's nice to remember those wins, but let's not sell the house and everything. Hey, because we just beat Arsenal here in an all-star match. Look, it's nice to see the growth of this league, but let's not measure the growth of this league because of today's result.
One of the trickiest jobs tonight is what Dominic Kinnear is going to have to do. To somehow shuffle a squad that is extremely offensive heavy, to get 26 players on the field, to still be competitive. It's going to be a nice task for Dom. Let's see how he does.
We have more pyrotechnics in the Copa Libertadores in Medellin right now. Woo!
Okay.
Caliente.
Okay. Well, that's a celebration.
It's going to get a little hotter around here in a few seconds, by the way.
You were talking about the air quality earlier. It just got a little bit more difficult.
A little dicier. That's a tough job, as Casey was talking about. Dominic Kinnear managing this game, getting the minutes for guys, and make sure you have a cohesive team out there that can put in a good performance for the crowd.
Because again, you want to be competitive, because people like you are going to measure MLS in this result. So yes, Dominic Kinnear has a big responsibility to play a game within the game. Balancing this team is going to be a challenge.
It's a good time, so enjoy it as the players start coming out. The MLS All-Stars, Arsenal, MLS All-Stars have faced teams from England before. They lost to Manchester United, never lost to a team from London. And that's something else to hang on here. But hey, look, Casey, in the form of having fun, you're having a good time. The fans, everyone's enjoying this moment.
Absolutely no question about it. And I think what we want to see in it is just an entertaining match. And you have also an opportunity. You know, there's some young Arsenal players here that are going to take advantage of players missing because of their commitments with their national teams in the summer to try to make a little bit of themselves.
We know Arsenal, it's a really star-studded, locked and loaded MLS All-Star team. Plenty of star power for your viewing pleasure, and we'll get closer to kickoff. Coming up, we'll hand it off to Adrian and Taylor. We'll take a break here.
Now, introducing the Audi Player Index, a new groundbreaking statistic that measures nearly every moment in every Major League Soccer match, whether it be a goal, save, tackle, assist, or one of over 2,000 player actions on the MLS pitch. The Audi Player Index, a new form of soccer intelligence. before is here.
No, I didn't make that purchase. Someone must have my card number. So I could pick up a new debit card right now? Thank you. All right, everyone, follow me.
Coach, the gym is that way.
Okay, everyone, do some squats.
Come on. This may take a while. Here's your card.
Thank you.
Instant issue debit cards. Security, convenience, together. Together we'll go far.
Where next? The dentist?
It's amazing what we can learn to accomplish. To dribble like this, like that, and always be one step ahead of the competition. But we're not born with these skills. We have to learn them. Every trick, every play, and every fundamental has to be learned before goals can be accomplished. So we keep practicing, because no matter how hard it gets, we know that learning leads to success. Southern New Hampshire University, the official education partner of Major League Soccer.
What was the purpose of your visit?
Business. Rated PG-13.
New Taco Bell poll finds Americans want a dollar menu that actually costs $1. You don't say. Taco Bell's new $1 morning value menu. The only breakfast value menu where everything's $1.
Jason?
Before you got on that plane, I had to tell you.
Hey, Jason.
Good, you need to hear this too. You got the house.
Oh, I love this guy.
All right, these are for you.
Century 21 agents. Smarter, bolder, faster. Ranked highest overall satisfaction for the first time in repeat home buyers and sellers 2 years in a row by J.D. Power.
It's MLS Soccer Sunday.
That our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave on the land of the free, yeah, and the home of the brave.
Well, 6 of the all-star lineup have played against Arsenal previously. One of them, Didier Drogba, will be relishing the chance to go up against Arsene Wenger's side once more. In 15 previous appearances against the Gunners, the Ivorian can boast 13 goals. There are 17 players who haven't been in an all-star squad before, and 2 in their rookie MLS campaign. Kaká captains the side. The Brazilian once featured in a Milan side, beaten 2-0 at the San Siro by Arsenal. Alongside him in midfield then and now is Andrea Pirlo. Former Spurs winger Giovanni Dos Santos could be the target for some boos from the Arsenal fans in the stadium. The LA Galaxy player had an unproductive time at White Hart Lane, but Gunner supporters, of course, have long memories. On the bench for the All-Stars, another former Spur, Clint Dempsey, who's been playing well for a poor Seattle side this season, and amongst others, alongside him, last season's MVP Sebastian Giovinco. Arsenal start with a much more experienced side from the one held 1-1 at Lens in their first pre-season friendly. Petr Jack Wilshere, Theo Walcott and Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain are 4 of 7 changes all told, and there's a first look at Arsenal colours at Rob Holding, who was signed from Bolton in the summer. Holding will form part of a youthful centre-back pairing alongside 18-year-old Pole Christian Bielik. Signed from Legia Warsaw 18 months ago as a midfielder. Last season he played mainly as a defender for the youth team. Walcott will play up front with Joel Campbell, who performed in the United States for Costa Rica this summer in the Copa America, operating on the left. Oxlade-Chamberlain, who netted the equaliser against Lens,
is featuring on the right-hand side for Arsenal in typical 4-2-3-1 formation. There's no Giroud, Ozil, Ramsey, Koscielny, Alexis or Mertesacker, but Granit Xhaka is on the bench, the Swiss international signed from Borussia Mönchengladbach in the summer. MLS All-Stars will be hoping to keep their good run going against Premier League sides. Tottenham Hotspur were beaten 2-1 in the previous MLS All-Star clash. Will Arsenal go the same way as their fiercest rivals? We will find out one way or another. If it's level at the 90, we will go to a penalty shootout. Christian Bielik, a really big opportunity for him in front of Arsene Wenger and those adoring Arsenal supporters, and Kieran Gibbs, who played second fiddle to Nacho Real, getting a run out in this fixture as well. We are underway. It is North America versus North London. The MLS All-Stars taking on Arsenal here. They're going to show many of their experienced professionals, their established starters, against an MLS All-Stars side packed full of talent of international class as well. They'll be hoping to keep their good run alive against the Premier League clubs who have come here over the last decade or so, and by and large been beaten. Can Arsenal stop the rot? Can they do what Manchester United have done, but not the likes of Chelsea in a couple of appearances in the MLS All-Star game? Gareth, it's a fascinating matchup here. You do sense that the MLS All-Stars will be fit and fighting, given the fact that they're in the middle of their particular season. And obviously, for the likes of Mohamed El Neni and co, they're just beginning to get into the groove with the Premier League campaign 2 weeks or so away.
Yes, absolutely. And we normally associate Arsenal dominating the ball and possession, but when you look at the MLS stars in midfield and this man on the ball now, Pirlo, it's very difficult to try and get them off the ball. You've got Pirlo in there, Kaká. These are guys who can look after the ball all day, so it can be a fascinating game.
Simao looked upon it long, player who did feature in the European Championships for Belgium. Mathieu Debuchy, not for France. He, of course, spent some time on loan at Bordeaux last campaign after losing his place to Hector Bellerin, who was named in the PFA team of the year and went to the Euros with Spain, although didn't play. It's a rather late challenge, and Arsenal have an opportunity with his free kick. Our referee is Chris Petzl, incidentally, in his 8th season as a MLS referee. First appearance in the All-Star game for the man in the middle. In the mid to high 80s, so I don't expect any side to bust a gut for the full 90. There will be changes over the course of the game, as you would expect, given the nature of this exhibition. This is Oxlade-Chamberlain, who did brilliantly to score against Lens, a terrific strike to level it up in Arsenal's first pre-season game. This is Campbell, should be cleared away by Rosenberry. Kaká, Pirlo, that's rather sloppy, and Oxlade-Chamberlain could be away here. It's towards Theo Walcott, still Walcott, wide of the target.
That is a first. I've never seen Pirlo give the ball away so cheaply like that, and it just shows you that as soon as you put some pressure on them, Arsenal try and win it, and he's just trying to play a blind ball there. Initially, when they pick up the ball, Oxlade-Chamberlain, you probably think he's going to drive and have a shot himself, but decides to play it to Walcott, who can't quite get the ball out of his feet to get a good strike.
Sloppy from Andrea Pirlo, 37 now, first All-Star appearance. Will show Oxlade-Chamberlain, Arsenal looking lively in the opening 3 minutes or so, and then he will let it run through. But Debuchy, his touch is rather heavy. Something to prove, certainly. Mathieu Debuchy had an awful time with injury, of course, at Arsenal.
At the time, they did a really good signing, got him from Newcastle. Everything looked like sorted. He was going to be a real mainstay of that team, but got that shoulder injury, and out of nowhere, Bellerin's come in and really established himself and gone on to be one of the best right backs in the league, really. So it looks like Debuchy's really going to have to probably try and find some football elsewhere.
It's got a glimpse there of Kellen Acosta as well, who's playing on the left-hand side of the All-Stars defence. It's an unfamiliar opportunity, really, for Acosta.
Well,
From a corner,
one game.
Arsene Wenger's side, Theo Walcott across to take.
comfortably cleared.
Walcott was expecting better, because when you're playing up a team who hasn't had that much time to work together, you want to try and exploit them in situations like that.
Campbell drives forward and is taken down. Santos with the lazy challenge, and an opportunity for the Gunners, who have started brightly. To force his way to the starting lineup in the Premier League last season did Joel Campbell, and then was dropped towards the end of the campaign, but certainly a player that can offer something a little different, you feel, for Arsenal.
He's done fantastically well for Arsenal last season in a time where they had real injuries. Walcott, Oxlade-Chamberlain were out at the same time. He come into the side and established himself as a genuine Arsenal first-team player.
Something that Theo Walcott wants to re-establish in the forthcoming season. Looks like he's going to be favourite to take this one on, Theo. It is Walcott, curling effort that Andre Blake seemed to see a little late, but still makes the save as the Philadelphia Union stopper.
Initially they're looking like Walcott's going to go for that far post, but he just tries to read the situation, doesn't go too early, and just reacts really well to hold that, because a lot of Arsenal players are following that in for the rebound.
It's the 4 clean sheets so far for Blake, who's been a real star for Philadelphia Union, who themselves have surprised many, going well in the Eastern Conference at the moment. They were leading the Eastern Conference for the early weeks of the campaign. They've slipped to 3rd recently, behind the 2 New York sides. And Dan will knock it forward at Costa with a heavy touch. This is Debuchy. Jamaican international had 1 or 2 problems with injuries a couple of years ago, and the injury kept him out of the Union side. Did play in the Copa America for Jamaica in the summer. Jamaica unfortunately bang out at the group stage. This is Pirlo. Kakar will take a touch, and that's a useful ball over to the left side, and suddenly there's options here for the All-Stars. The shot crashed in by David Villa, is blocked. Might get another go, and a 3rd go, but eventually it spins all the way through to Pericek.
How many times have we seen that with David Villa? In his real pomp in his Barcelona days, those runs from outside to in. You've got to have your wits about you as a defender, because he's always looking to attack that 6-yard box, and that's the reason why he gets so many goals and continues to get the goals in the MLS.
One scored against Arsenal at the Emirates Stadium, David Villa. A 2-1 Arsenal success. Barcelona won the return at Camp Nou back in the 10-11 Champions League campaign. 13 goals in MLS this season, and the league's top goal scorer, just ahead of Nacho Piatti, Montreal Impact midfielder, who's of the All-Star squad, who's on the bench. Bradley Wright-Phillips and Sebastian Javinko just in behind those 2. Flag has stayed down here. Another opportunity. Terrific save from Pericek. That was Dos Santos that got free.
It's an absolutely magnificent ball from Pirlo, picking up that deep midfield area, and it's not something we've seen so much of him at New York City, because Vieira's trying to play in more advanced area, getting closer to the goal to create those chances, but that was Pirlo that we've seen all throughout the years. World Cup winner. What a fantastic pass.
One terrific delivery, 1 slip as well from Pirlo so far. And New York City supporters would suggest that that's what they've seen. A little inconsistent. What can he conjure here? Rather low trajectory. David Villa can't make anything of it. Let's see what Arsenal can do on the break with Theo Walcott looking to take on Giovanni Dos Santos. Pirlo tries to challenge Walcott. Eventually, it's Walcott that ends up on the deck.
Dos Santos has done brilliantly there, because as soon as Walcott picks that ball up in those deep areas, if he can knock it and open his legs up, not many men stay with him, so he's done great to just stop that attack in its track.
Good tempo to the opening 9 minutes or so. MLS All-Stars 0, Arsenal 0.
Yeah, that's been a good tempo. And we talked about Arsenal being a bit rusty, but Wenger's come out this week and said the modern day footballer doesn't come back to pre-season unfit. He doesn't need it. He's going to be fit the whole calendar year, and what you're just looking for when you come back is just to get that rhythm going again, get that game tempo.
That's the ball towards Dos Santos. Had Gibbs snapping for a second, and the save by Cech. Meanwhile, at the other end, Campbell looking to muscle his way free. Was he brought down inside the penalty area? Yes, he was.
Chris Penso points to the spot. Seaman was awkward and clumsy, and a card will come out as well to the bone. Campbell was persistent, and it paid off.
It was when you see the ball over the top there, and a bit of a confusion between the centre-back and the goalkeeper. As we said, players haven't played regularly together. And Seaman just tries to lean into him there, and it looked like he was going to stop him putting it in for him. So referees made his mind up early. Penalty for Arsenal.
So Andre Blake, Super Draft pick of 2014, the Jamaican, stands in Arsenal's waiting up into the book. Van Dam continues to argue the case. Chris Penso moves the Belgian away, and Arsenal have the opportunity to inch in front from the spot. Campbell brought down. Looks to compose himself. Can he fire the gunners in front? Up against Blake. Finds the corner. Arsenal lead by a goal to nil. An orthodox run up, but he does manage to put Arsenal in front here. Blake gets the right way, but too much power. MLS All-Stars nil, Arsenal 1.
It's the man shaking his head there. He knows it's frustrating to give away a goal like that, but Campbell fiercely struck. But Blake is so furious with himself. If he committed to it, he would have got it. But that is a good penalty, isn't it? Right in the corner. Very difficult to get there.
Well, 3 goals last campaign for Joel Campbell in the Premier League. How much will he feature in the 16-17 campaign remains to be seen. But as you mentioned before, Gary, he came in and did a job really well when Arsenal was short in that particular area. Can play left and right flank, can play through the centre as well. We've seen him play for Costa Rica as a second striker, and indeed for Olympiacos when he was out on loan, playing so well in the Champions League a couple of seasons ago, scoring against Manchester United.
Well, it will definitely give Wenger something to think about. The problem he has is the quality that Arsenal have in that second line of attack and the number 10 areas as such. They've just got so much. We see the quality here today, but obviously the likes of Ramsey, Ozil still to come back in.
Oxlade-Chamberlain looking to play Debussy here, and it's Acosta that will smuggle the ball behind for another corner, and suddenly Arsenal are dominating.
Yeah, the All-Stars just got to have a quiet word. The more experienced players have got to say to the younger ones, just settle down and just try and get a foothold in the game. Let's get hold.
Bielik is forward from the back. It's over the head of Bielik. It's cleared away by Drogba. El Neni looks to control. Now it's with Campbell once again. Beckerman just stands off for a second. Still Campbell looking to come forward. Rosenberry looks to get in the way.
But just in defending that last corner there, we see about Drogba. We know about his goals, his power and leading the line. But what people underestimate is the role he used to play for Chelsea in that defensive area and heading those type of balls clear. It's a presence back there when he comes in to help.
Rosenberry looking for Beckerman. Rosenberry again. Now it's with Perlo. Van Dam. There's a late call-up for the All-Stars. Liam Ridgewell misses out. Matt Biesler as well of Sporting Kansas City out injured. This is Campbell. Looks up first time to Walcott, who controls, and Oxlade-Chamberlain is streaking ahead of him. It's still Walcott, just delayed for a second. Acosta allowed time to come back and steal the ball away.
And Walcott's looking back at El Neni, his teammate, to say, you should be telling me that there's a man on, but really, when you're in that position, you should be better than that. And this is the problem that Arsenal fans have with Walcott. He's been very vocal, he wants to play centre forward, but if you want to play centre forward at an elite level club like Arsenal, when you get into those situations, you've got to make it count.
Beckerman, the United States international, coming forward. It's another All-Star appearance for him. Times he's been in the squad previously.
Well, we talked about the 2 young guys coming through the academies of the MLS clubs, and then we look at the total contrast in terms of Beckerman, in terms of playing 17 MLS seasons. That just shows you what a stalwart of this league he is.
Played in the Copa America as well, for 50 caps for his country.
MLS Cup winner back in 2009, 5.5 years with Colorado Rapids. Drogba slips. Is the ball just going to spin away and fine touch? David Villa looks to slip away from Debussy, still going forward here. Can he pick the pass? It's El Neni who's back. Oxlade-Chamberlain to try and clear. Acosta puts the pressure on. Oxlade-Chamberlain's back. Oxlade-Chamberlain to try and clear. Acosta puts the pressure on. Oxlade-Chamberlain, he's too good and looks to find Walcott. Terrific play. Walcott, Campbell calling for it. It's still Walcott. Well, he didn't really hit it, and that's easy for Andre Blake.
You see all that's good about Walcott, and unfortunately all that's not so good in terms of great pace driving. Got a lucky ricochet goal opens up for him, but just doesn't have the quality finish at the end of it.
Kaká chips it forward looking for Rosenbrick. Gives his back goal side. The All-Stars managed to win a corner here. Arsenal lead by a goal to nil. It should potentially have been more. Theo Walcott free. Back to do some defensive work. Kaká gets ready to take. Van Dam has to knock it back towards the penalty spot, but nobody there in All-Star colours. Kaká will have another go. Forward to aim at this time. Drogba won't get to it. Back in towards Didier Drogba, who tries to just take it down and use his strength inside the penalty area. Kaká once more, better from the All-Stars. Just runs into too many bodies, too many shins in the way as the Gunners look to clear. It's Jack Wilshere. Cool as you like under pressure. Gibbs. He's got time to turn and use his pace again, but runs into Seaman.
The All-Stars have just got to be careful in terms of their setup. I know we've got Pirlo, Kaká in terms of getting on the ball in that midfield area, but on the turnover, they are leaving Beckham a little bit exposed, and with the pace that Arsenal have on the counter-attack, they have to make sure that the defensive structure behind their attacking play is better than it has been so far.
Hello to Villa once again. The two New York City players look to combine. But Oxlade-Chamberlain enjoying himself, of course. Injury problems for Oxlade-Chamberlain last season. Missed out on the Euros because of the issues. The problem that kept him out at the end of the season. He's against a left fly. Doesn't trouble Blake on this occasion, but plenty of power from a player performing with confidence.
Yeah, he started very well. We know that when he gets the ball in those areas, he's not afraid to pull the trigger. Just finds a bit of space in and around the 10 area. Good first touch. Doesn't need a second invitation. He's just looking for that. Just faded at the last minute. Unfortunately, just stayed a bit too straight.
He scored one Premier League goal last campaign. Scored in the Community Shield very early on in the season. Many were tipping a big season for Oxlade-Chamberlain. This will be his 6th season now with the Gunners. Gibbs slides in. All-Stars get the decision. Surely being Sam Allardyce's thinking for the first England squad, he can continue this type of form into the season proper. Rosenbrick will take the throw. All-Stars looking to get back on terms. Seaman conceded the spot kick. Acosta. Yeah, wants it wide left. Kaká comes a little short. Now it's with Pirlo. Beckerman. In the space over on that left-hand side. He will take it down. Acosta's come in field. Still David Villa. Kaká waits inside the penalty area. Beckerman chips it forward, looks here for Villa, tries the spectacular, but it's something we know that he's capable of. On that occasion, it was well wide of the target.
You're never going to have a go at someone like David Villa for those type of efforts, but certainly Arsenal looking to hold a defensive line. Two young centre-backs, haven't played many games together. Just have to be careful there. You hold a high line in and around your box. With the likes of Villa making those runs, you've got to be so careful because the timing of these runs are absolute perfection.
All-Stars have won 7, lost 4 in the current All-Stars formats against a guest side rather than East versus Western conferences as it once was.
by and large, they've got the better of whoever's travelled to North America to play, including the likes of Bayern Munich and a whole host of Premier League clubs as well. This is Campbell. Still bucking the trend at the moment. Oxlade-Chamberlain. Wilshire's touch. El Neni. Seen Jack Wilshere in that advanced role as well here. Flick towards Walcott. The flag is up. Seen Wilshere play deep. Seen him play in a variety of positions for Arsenal in his career. Not quite sure Arsene Wenger still knows exactly what his best position is.
But the problem you have with Wilshere in terms of where will he fit in when everyone's fit. If Arsene Wenger's picking his best 11, Ozil's going to be in it, Sanchez is going to be it, and then you're looking to play him in a deep field area.
Villa racing, keeping in play. Drogba wants it far post at the moment. It's still David Villa. The step over for Acosta, tries to wrap the left boot around it. Must have flicked up off an Arsenal boot. No. Giovanni Dos Santos, who got there, claims it was a corner.
Debussy must be looking at Oxlade-Chamberlain to say, you need to give me some more support there defensively, because he's been exposed 1v1 by Villa, and if the centre's giving him the overlap as well. Very fortunate not to concede a corner there, Arsenal.
Didn't quite happen for Dos Santos. Tottenham had some good campaigns around European football. Now with LA Galaxy, of course, still just 27. Did play once against Arsenal in his Tottenham career, was in a Spurs side beaten 4-1 after extra time in the League Cup back in September of 2010. Here is Walcott. Wilshere. And looks to move forward. Rides one challenge. Costas crumpled to the ground. I think the referee's going to halt play here.
That looks worrying, actually. It seems that Coquelin had a heavy touch, committed himself then for the tackle. He just have gone over the ball and caught Costa on his right shin, which can be so painful.
Here's the challenge again.
Yeah, no malicious intent as such, just looking to go for the ball when competitive he is. It looks bad on the replays, of course it does when the studs go on there, but you hope he's alright. It looks okay, but they are particularly sore when they happen initially.
One of the stars of the United States under-20 squad of last year. Played the World Cup at that level in New Zealand, made it through to the knockout stages. He was sent off against Colombia, missed the game against Serbia in which the United States were knocked out. Coquelin, of course, not one to shirk a challenge. He's certainly been what Arsenal have been missing prior to him establishing himself as a first team member, not necessarily first choice, although he did have a run in the side last season obviously, but he was loaned out to the likes of Lorient, Freiburg and Charlton before coming back in favour.
It's incredible really, his emergence in that Arsenal team, and it was more out of necessity than development really, because this is a guy who's a box-to-box midfielder, but suddenly Arsenal needed someone to play that holding role because of the injuries to Flamini, Arteta. He took to it brilliantly, to the extent that when he wasn't playing he was very much missed in that Arsenal midfield.
Midway point of this first half. MLS All-Stars 0, Arsenal 1. Joe Campbell from the spot after he was clumsily challenged by Laurent Ciman, the Montreal Impact defender. The other end, it's holding that's been penalised.
You have to say he's had a relatively comfortable afternoon so far, evening I should say, and that's because they probably ain't playing it direct up to Drogba. But certainly a massive learning curve for him. It's great to see this young player coming through. I spoke to Neil Lennon about 5 or 6 months ago. He said a young player at Bolton to keep an eye out, and lo and behold, Arsenal make the decision to get him in. And obviously Mertesacker's injured. They're going to need to do a bit of business, I'm sure, to get some experience in that centre-half area, because when Arsenal fans talk about why they haven't been challenging for the title, one of the key positions is that centre-back area.
He rolls it forward, Campbell can't take. Perlo Simon between them. We'll find Blake, who will punt it long. Here he is holding, it's in the Bolton side, last season more often than not, 26 appearances in the Championship. Campbell looking to get free again here, and he'll get there ahead of Rosenbreed. Did he have a little bit more time there, the Costa Rican pass?
I think he looked up for support, there wasn't any. Delay just allowed Rosenbreed to get back in. But for a young defender, Rosenbreed, this is what he needs to learn about, is that when someone's on the ball, they can get their head up, you have to drop early. That split second, you don't do it quick enough, you're going to be caught out by players of this quality.
El Neni, another player that came in, of course, signed from Basel in the winter window, and he thought that they wouldn't see anything of him, but again came in and started 9 games in the top flight, contributed to Arsenal's finishing second. Here he is again with a shot, and he scored an absolute cracker against Barcelona in the Champions League. On this occasion he's denied.
And he felt as soon as he hit it, it was in. We talked about finding space again, just off Perlo, not getting out quick enough. Blake is furious with his midfielders that they're not closing down that shot, but as he strikes that, he thinks it's in the top corner. But look at Blake, fingertips, just touches it over, uses every bit of his frame. Brilliant save.
And he had the space to take the shot on, nearly doubling Arsenal's advantage. Walcott will take the corner yet again here. Delivery to the far post. None better than the one that was fired towards the near 10 minutes or so back, and that will just drift away for an MLS All-Stars throw. Blake in good form this season, the Jamaican. Drogba. He's not been at his bullying best, but he's 38 now, Didier Drogba. Scourge of Arsenal for so many seasons. When at Chelsea, here is Dos Santos. Looking for the ball round the back, but Arsenal will clear. Dos Santos again. Towards the Mexican, didn't quite work out, and Jack Wilshere will pick up, and now Walcott is on. He is once again. Simon will have to get across. Van Dam as well. It's still Theo Walcott. Who can he pick out? The shot is blocked as Campbell came in.
We're seeing it very often now in terms of the turnover. As soon as Arsenal win it, they can break at real pace, and when you see that type of energy in the team, you wonder why they don't adopt that attitude more in the Premier League, because Wenger's always on about this possession-based football, but when he does that and plays, take a touch here, a touch there, it allows the opposition to get set, and Arsenal struggle to break them down. Some of their best results last season were invariably when they had least amount of possession.
Another corner. Oxlade-Chamberlain to try his luck. In swinger this time, Blake with a good take.
Great goalkeeping. Picked the fly up early, really commanded, come out and took it.
Rolled out for Pello. The All-Stars come forward once again. David Villa just straight into an offside position. Pello will once again look to saunter forward, looking to pick the pass, to see the move. Pello from Dos Santos. Made it away, picked up by Kaká on the edge of the penalty area. Chip back into Didier Drogba, flick back towards a Brazilian again. Debussy is strong and will clear.
Drogba's looking at the referee there. How many times we've seen that ball into his chest, bumps to the centre half, turns and gets his shot.
Simon steps in, does well, and then can't pick the pass and loses possession only momentarily. Here comes the Belgian again. Oh, that was rather late. First sign of Drogba causing problems to Bielik and Hull at the back.
Despite his age, the problem you have against Drogba when you play against him is he's so strong. If he gets you set and himself between you and the ball, it's so difficult to stop him swivelling and getting his shot.
13 goals, 15 appearances against Arsenal. 10 wins, just 1 defeat.
Incredible turnaround, that stat, Chelsea against Arsenal, because prior to his arrival, Arsenal never struggled to beat Chelsea. Suddenly he turns up and they just couldn't get the better of him.
This is Walcott turning up inside the penalty area, and Oxlade-Chamberlain, and still takes a deflection. Nam is in the way, rather luckily, you have to suggest.
Oxlade-Chamberlain's furious with himself, didn't get any connection on that shot.
Free kick eventually taken from the right place. David Villa. Kaká tries to thread it through towards Didier Drogba. Might have a go himself. It's back towards Drogba. Just didn't get it right. And there was space there for the ball to the Ivorian.
And when that ball was picked up by Kaká, Drogba's thinking, this is my chance, because this guy can find anyone in those type of scenarios. And for him to overhit the pass is so unlike Kaká. Even great names like Kaká leading into this All-Star game. The excitement he talked about in representing the MLS and the uniqueness of it in terms of that you actually get a team that's picked and they actually play. It's not something you see in Europe, certainly don't see in the Premier League, where we have our team of the season but they don't get to play it. And these guys are so excited about it. You could hear Kaká obviously voted as the captain for the second year running, and what it meant to him. He talked about growing up as a young boy in Brazil and seeing the basketball teams and the all-star teams and them, and then suddenly he gets the opportunity to play in the MLS.
Two players waiting to come on for the All-Stars. As the hosts come forward again, and it takes no chances to clear away. It's Piatti and Kleshton who are waiting to appear for the hosts, and we will have an opportunity to get these two players on as the players take on a little water in the high 80s. San Jose, and a hydration break at the half hours agreed, and while the players take on water to come on for MLS All-Stars. Nacho Piatti has been a real star, the Argentine. It's a player that can pick a pass, a little like Pirlo, a man who is going to replace. Can also score as well, as we've seen over the course of this campaign. He's been brilliant for Montreal Impact, 12 goals this season. And Piatti is on, Pirlo is off, and David Villa also to be replaced. And this time it's Sacha Kleshton of New York Red Bulls, who's played against Arsenal in his Anderlecht days, who comes on. So we're not going to see any more of Pirlo or Villa. The two New York City players have come off, which is a bit of a shame.
It is, and I'm sure Villa will be particularly frustrated about it, because in the build-up to this game he talked about the uniqueness of this whole concept and how he was looking forward to the opportunity of playing alongside Piatti in particular. And he talked glowingly about how he's dominated in the MLS and he'd love to play alongside him, and as soon as he sees him coming off, he would not expected that he was going to make way for him.
I guess one thing you would say is that New York City do play on Saturday. They take on Colorado Rapids. Rapids going so well, of course, this season, second in the Western Conference. The rest of the MLS fixtures this weekend on the Sunday. So Pirlo and Villa perhaps saved by the All-Stars head coach Dominic Kinnear. Maybe something that was pre-arranged as well.
Well, certainly the MLS All-Stars looked a bit open on the turnover, as we said, in midfield against the counter-attacking pace of Arsenal, so you don't really want Tiello chasing them all around the pitch if he's got his job to concentrate on.
Question, a different type of player certainly than Pirlo. This is Drogba. Can he flick it through towards the Red Bulls man, who was nearly presented with an opportunity just seconds after entering the fray? A lot more mobile in that midfield area, Kleshton. Through towards Drogba again, it's Bielik that clears. Wilshere for El Neni. Gibbs. Oxlade-Chamberlain has come out to this near side. Campbell has swapped to the right. This is El Neni. Beckerman tries to challenge Coquelin. Oxlade-Chamberlain again here for Arsenal. Lead by a goal to nil. Just over 10 minutes remaining in the first half. The first half played at a good tempo, good pace about the fixture. Both sides potentially with a point to prove. Certainly personal ambitions abound from both squads, and a sellout crowd to perform in front of. Entirely for Debuchy. Campbell, Coconut, El Neni. This is Gibbs. Wilshere has made a sprint forward. Now it's with Oxlade-Chamberlain. This is Wilshere once again. Gibbs is in space here. Wilshere recycles for Oxlade-Chamberlain. Is there space to get a shot away for Coconut, who's never scored for Arsenal? Here he is once again. Now it's with El Neni. Patient build-up play. Where's the opening for Arsene Wenger's side? Wilshere once more. Wasn't the worst cross, but Campbell arriving a little too late. And then falling foul of the law as he drags down Acosta.
Campbell in that situation has to attack across the goal from that cross, and MLS All-Stars need to keep hold of this ball for a little bit of time, because Arsenal are moving it around with real authority, and in this type of heat it's so hard chasing.
Going to stay in the States for a second game against Chivas Guadalajara on Monday. And then back to play a couple of games before the season starts proper. Viking and then Manchester City in Scandinavia. This is Didier Drogba. Cross has been fired in here, questioning to get good connection, but it was a good block in fairness. Kaká. Three weights on the edge of the Arsenal penalty area. The Brazilian looks to find Didier Drogba. And Kaká tips. Well, there's a rarity, and Campbell will steal away from the Brazilian and then cut inside again, and look for Theo Walcott. Well, the first two segments of that play were terrific from the Costa Rican. The last, not so much.
To any amateur footballer watching, if one of the best players of our generation can stand on the ball, there's hope for us all, yeah.
Well, Stars come forward once again, but Kaká won't get to that. Oxlade-Chamberlain. Beckerman to cut it out. Well, Stars come forward once more. Santos is looking to line this one up towards Drogba. Bielik takes it down. Drogba not close enough to nick it away from the pole.
Great composure by the young man, though, because he would assess the situation. He would know he had a bit of space. Midfield schooling, but both he and Holdham have looked really assured at the back, so I think Arsene Wenger will be delighted with how they performed in his first half.
Played just one senior game. Bielik against Sheffield Wednesday in the League Cup. Arsenal were thumped and offside at Hillsborough. Bielik on as a sub in that game. He's a star UEFA Youth League campaign.
A lot said about that defeat to Sheffield Wednesday 3-0, and it was a kids team, but Arsenal had a lot of experienced players out. Mertesacker played that evening and they were second best from start to finish, so I wouldn't blame or leave any of the blame at that young man's door.
Van Dam once played at Highbury for Ajax in a Champions League fixture. El Neni. Debuchy forward. Campbell will take. And now Campbell slips but recovers. Here is El Neni. Wilshere. Still looking to move the ball just that little quicker as they come into the final third. Oxlade-Chamberlain 2 to be. Gibbs in support. Still has possession here, Oxlade-Chamberlain, but he's denied by a combination of Kljestan and Rosenbrick.
I think Arsene Wenger will be delighted with the first half. A real tempo about his team, trying to get them minutes into those legs and Get your body in the right condition then for the start of the Premier League. Some tough games for Arsenal early on, Leicester, Liverpool. And then all the hard work starts here in these type of games, because it'll be a challenge against these MLS players.
Campbell looking for the reverse ball back towards the he might be a little out of position here as suddenly Dos Santos comes forward. Now Piatti from the Argentine conjure, and then he is back helping out. He's still Nacho Piatti, and he can strike them. Looking to maybe tee up Clash, aware of the presence of Oxlade-Chamberlain.
He's got Kleshan on a couple of occasions now. He just needs to improve his awareness, know that people are not going to give him that time on the ball, because they know. Now this is a guy, Kleshan, who for Red Bulls has got 14 assists already this season, so we know how dangerous he can be when he gets on the ball.
Well, Drogba's been wrestled to the ground. Haven't seen too much in that one. But the familiar scowl is there as he looks around to see who it was that brought him down, and the referee agrees. Meanwhile, we've got an Arsenal band down, and it's Coquelin who's clutching a left knee, is it?
That's a worry when you look over to the bench and holding their knee. It looks like he's gapped his medial ligaments. Just as he's doing his proper jogging back. Just looks like as he stretches into Drogba, a bit of his weight just goes onto that inside of that knee. We'll see here again. So you worry about things like that. You hope it's just a stinger and that the pain soon goes away, but if someone's holding their knee like that and then looking to the bench, it's a worry.
Well, he did miss games last season. He was injured against West Bromwich Albion back in November and didn't return until late Jan. Dominic Kinnear just looking on, the All-Stars coach who's had such success, of course, over the years. Multiple MLS Cup winner, and Houston, of course, to a couple of titles. So an assistant coach when San Jose Earthquakes claimed championships as well. But there is concern here with Coquelin. It's the one thing that managers don't want to happen in pre-season, and that obviously is injuries. Coquelin is up particularly freely. Sensible thing might be to substitute him straight away. We'll see. Dominic Kinnear not too concerned about Coquelin. He wants to see what his all-star side can conjure here. Well, we've seen hit them. It's just a bit too close in.
Well, it looks like Drogba flexing his muscles here a bit, dominating. Certainly for Santos with that left foot of his and this type of angle. Up and over the wall. Check has to make sure that he can see the ball first and foremost.
Three in the wall to cause confusion. Will they spin away? Let's find out. Giovanni Dos Santos or Didier Drogba off the top of the wall.
Drogba's looking at Czech there, his ex-teammate, with a wry smile. The Czech is high-fiving and holding. He made himself big and strong in that wall, and Drogba thought that he got the ball up and down. But Holding made himself big.
He calls this campaign in MLS. Kaká with the corner, and the header from Van Dam is powerful, but lacks direction and is well over from the LA Galaxy man.
Yeah, we'll see the outswinger coming in, and Arsenal with no zonal marking, but can't allow someone like Van Dam to have that 1-2-3 jump on you, because if you're backing up, you're never going to win that header.
There's a score for Galaxy. Couple of minutes until half-time. Arsenal with the advantage. All Stars have had the ball in dangerous areas. Not that Petr has had too much to do. Bilican holding the two centre-backs. 18 years old, the Pole, and holding just 20. Played it in Toulon tournament, of course, for England. Tournament which England won for the first time in a generation. There he is again.
As much quality as this all-star team has in the squad, it's very difficult when you come together in such a short space of time to develop the understanding, to develop your team shape, and to make sure that when you lose the ball in certain scenarios you can win it back quickly. And that's the problem that these guys have faced, really, and the manager, that's the difficulty you have in such a short period of time, is how quickly can you mould a team together.
Gibbs. Wilshere wants it. Theo Walcott likewise. Oxlade-Chamberlain has it. Walcott once again. It's Debuchy. Now it's with El Neni. Plenty forward in red and white. Can Arsenal grab a second as half-time approaches? El Neni once again. Momentum of the move. Just lost a little. But possession is still Arsenal's. Coquelin. Gibbs. Campbell made the move too soon. Bushi to control. Oxlade-Chamberlain to drive to the byline and keep it in play. Shows real industry and energy to get there. We're into 2 minutes of added on time. This is El Neni. Coquelin might fancy a strike himself.
What El Neni brought when he was signed by Wenger in the winter period, and certainly shared the workload with Coquelin, who had no one of his ilk in the squad. Arteta, Flamini, that's their best really. So certainly when he comes in with the energy that he possesses, made a massive difference in that central midfield player.
Nice chance for All Stars to grab an equaliser before the break. We've got just over a minute or so. Wilshere under pressure. Needs to use Gibbs. Wilshere once again. Big picture, of course, for England at the Euros. This is Rosenberry. Van Dam. Seaman. It's a good-looking ball. He might just skip away from Dos Santos, though, who applauds the idea. The execution just a little off as Czech spots it quickly.
They read the situation so well there, and she just let Dos run off in there. I'm not quite sure if he's in control of that situation or just got lucky, but certainly
it's a decent-looking ball here, though. Dos Santos might be able to finish, and surely Drogba will. Another opportunity, and another! Right on the stroke at half-time. He needed 3 bites of the cherry. Didier Drogba, as he always seems to do, has scored yet again against the Gunners, and it's 1-1.
Incredible. We just talked about Bushi getting a little lucky on the overhit pass and Czech reading the situation. But he's advanced too early there, left his right back slot. And from that moment on, Drogba looks in total control. Czech's first saves it, then a great block on the line. But on the third occasion, Drogba made it count.
Drogba, scourge of the Gunners once again. Great awareness to find the corner. Didn't panic. Just prods it into the net. And the former Chelsea man has done it yet again.
It's amazing, isn't it, really, that stat? I mean, any Arsenal fan, when they look to see who scored against their team, will not be surprised to see that it was Drogba.
Better check his furious. His old teammate has scored against him. Nothing he could do. A scramble at the end of the first half in this All-Stars clash. The Ivorian prodding home after twice being blocked. Dominic Kinnear will be happy with the scoreline, I'm sure. After 45, his side went behind. All smiles between Drogba and Czech. Campbell got that first goal from the penalty spot after he was brought down by Simon. Oxlade-Chamberlain has had 1 or 2 opportunities himself. All to play for. At the break, it is the MLS All-Stars 1, Arsenal 1. 21st edition of the MLS All-Stars game, and the All-Stars taking on English Premier League runners-up from last season, Arsenal, all square after 45 minutes. Didier Drogba, who's been Arsenal's nemesis in his Chelsea days, scoring right on the stroke of half-time after Campbell put the Gunners ahead from the spot. Let's take a look back at the first half highlights. The game played at a really good tempo. Theo Walcott with an early opportunity.
Arsenal started with real determination, pace, and Walcott was at the heart of most things really, but just didn't connect well enough on that free kick.
Terrific. Seaman on Campbell. Blake out of position. The Belgian penalised. Spot kick, a yellow card. And Campbell with a stuttering run-up, but a sound spot kick to put the Gunners in front.
That's what Arsenal deserved. They started so strongly those first 15 minutes and really put the MLS team on the back foot. But look at the quality of this penalty, right in the corner, although the goalkeeper was committed and was so frustrated not to see him get his fingers on it.
Costa Rican putting the Gunners in front. Arsenal had plenty of chances. The All-Stars were looking for the spectacular David Villa, who departed after half an hour with that particular effort, and then looking to slide Giovanni Dos Santos in here. He couldn't quite wrap the left boot around it, didn't get the corner either. No, it wasn't an interchange between the two. Wide open right at the end of the half. Drogba had one go, two goes, and then the third, prodding the ball into the corner to score yet again against Arsenal.
Well, Cech was laughing at Drogba as they got off the pitch, but he won't be laughing at half time talking to his teammates. 2 minutes to go until half-time blows up. Right back's in advanced area, gets caught out, falls to drop by, has 1 chance, 2 chance, you don't give him 3.
All smiles between the two former Chelsea players, of course. But Petr Cech won't be smiling when he looks back on the defending there. Potential stats look like this. Arsenal only just shading possession. MLS All-Stars had some good ball in the final third. It was Arsenal that took the lead before the All-Stars came back. Target for MLS All-Stars 1, Arsenal 1 after 45 minutes of the 21st All-Stars game. The hosts battling back through Didier Drogba. Who else to grab a leveller with just seconds remaining of the half after Arsenal had taken the lead from the spot through Joel Campbell, the Costa Rican converting after he was brought down inside the penalty area by All Square. One or two of the All-Stars subs are still on. Likewise, Arsenal replacements. One or two changes we will see over the course of the second half, you would imagine. We've seen 2 changes already for the All-Stars. Question, who had a hand in the goal, of course, and also Piatti. Arsenal making a handful of changes ahead of this second period. No real surprise that Arsene Wenger will look to use his squad in the 2 games his team will play in North America before coming back to Europe. We're also going to see changes for the All-Stars as well. Looks like David Bingham, the San Jose Earthquake stopper, is about to come on for the second half, replacing Andre Blake, who made one terrific stop.
How good is that, to make your first All-Star appearance at your home ground? For the Bingham guy, he feels so comfortable in his surroundings, but we're desperate to do well in this.
So going to see Pizzola, Xhaka and Iwobi, the quintet we believe to come on. Looks like we're also going to see Will Trapp as well. That is Callum Chambers that is coming on for Arsenal. And still 1 or 2 getting stripped and ready to enter the fray here. Darlington Nagbe, we could see also the Portland Timbers player. One of very much interest from an Arsenal point of view will be Granit Xhaka. Alex Iwobi, who emerged from obscurity really for Arsenal last season. He was not really a player that many were looking at to be promoted to the first team squad, but he was. Nigerian international, nephew of JJ. We're underway for the second half of this MLS All-Stars clash between the All-Stars and Arsenal, the English Premier League runners-up from last campaign, going in front through Campbell from the spot, being pegged back by Didier Drogba, who netted yet again against the Gunners. He's done it in a pre-season friendly before. He scored a couple of goals for Galatasaray in the Emirates Cup a few years ago. Turkish side stealing the trophy that day. 13 and 15 in his Chelsea days. He's the man that's given the All-Stars the opportunity to maybe kick on and win yet another All-Stars clash against a Premier League side. This is Nagbe, and once again Darlington Nagbe, and he get the shot away. They're queuing up far post here, and eventually it might fall. Piatti on this near side, he can get it back. This is a corner. Playing at left back, of course, unfamiliar position for those that are regular FC Dallas watchers. First All-Star appearance for the 21-year-old USA Under-20 international. And Boston of Vancouver Whitecaps. And back towards David Bingham, and once again it will take a little bit of time for all the new faces to try and gel for the All-Stars. Touch on that far side once again. Inside the penalty area, Javinko looking to twist and turn, does get the shot away, but that's a brilliant save from Petr Cech.
The quality of the little man Javinko there again, can take the ball in tight areas, manages to work the ball to get his strike off there, and what a fantastic save by Petr Cech again. But look at the movement there, runs across the line of one centre-half in behind, brilliant first touch, doesn't quite settle it, but still manages to get his strike off.
Try for Toronto. 11 goals this campaign, including a hat-trick last time out against DC United.
He's been a major success since he's come here. He's, like you said, he's goals, his assists, he can score all types of goals. a fantastic scene in the MLS.
Bit awkward from Bingham. And home turf, of course, at San Jose and the Earthquakes. Costa. Down the line for Piatti. Looking to take on Bayardin. The Spaniard comes back to deal with the danger, but Piatti will get another go. Terrific season for the young fullback last campaign. Flick forward for Piatti again. This occasion the ball from Mauro Diaz just not good enough. Two Argentines looking to combine. Meanwhile at the other end we've seen little of Arsenal so far in this second half. Will Alex Iwobi change all that? He's through towards Walcott, looking to use his strength. He brought down. Well, he's on this near side for a second. I thought the referee was going to point to the spot for the second time. He's kept it in play. Just to feed it infield. Diaz, now Javinko. Bounces away off Cam Chambers.
Javinko, great link-up play there again. Just works in that area, opens up the stride, looks to bend into that far corner. And Chambers has done brilliant to make himself big to block the shot.
Costa. Towards Farrell on that right-hand side, but was just going to bounce away.
Real positive start by the All-Star second half. Look like they've got real energy in that midfield area now. Willing runners from deep. People who've got the ability to find those type of runs, and certainly Kinnear, the manager, will be delighted with the start of this second half.
Second time that he's taken charge of the All-Stars. Guided the team in the 2009 fixture against Everton. Winning that match on spot. Good awareness to Fila Welby on that left-hand side. Now it's with Campbell once again. John Monreal, who's prepared for this second half, enters the frame, gets the first touch. And then it's given away. Javinko looking to move forward. Now it's with Mauro Diaz, but groans from the MLS supporters as it just wouldn't fall through to Piatti on this near side. Xhaka. Oxlade-Chamberlain looks to whip the cross in this time into a good area, but Walcott unable to throw himself over that.
There's great area as well, the delivery at near post there, and you're looking for an elite level centre forward to attack across the near post, across the face of his centre. Walcott just doesn't see those situations early enough.
Iwobi. Here is Xhaka.
So that Arsenal fans will want to see Xhaka, and a lot of talk coming out of the camp from the Arsenal players about his presence, even for a young man, that he's got real authority in that central midfield area. We talked about Coquelin needing help in that area. El Neni comes in, but let's not forget about Cazorla as well, who's so pivotal to how well Arsenal play when he's been brought inside to that central midfield area, away from the wings that you normally associate him throughout this early part of his career.
Wants them to turn. Bingham to take his time. Arsenal, who were top of the Premier League at Christmas, favourites to win the Premier League.
Will be tarnished somewhat in the eyes of the Arsenal fans who have idolised him over the time he's been at Arsenal.
Late Feb to March, when it started to unravel. Just one win in 8 in all competitions, and that was the replay against Hull in the FA Cup. It's out of the Champions League, slipping off the pace in the Premier League. They rallied, of course, beaten in their last 9 in the campaign to steal second spot from Spurs on the last day. Into the group stage of the Champions League yet again for the 20th consecutive season. They'll be looking to make the knockout stages once more. Well, that's a lovely flick from Javinko. What can Nagbe do? Question just in front. Farrell on the overlap.
For the All-Stars, and obviously when you're watching the first half, you're sitting on the bench and you're itching to play because it's a massive honour to be selected first and foremost for it, but you want to play, you want to be starting these games, and if you don't, you're looking at your coach all the time saying, get me on there.
Seems to be a lot more mobility as well about All-Stars all of a sudden. Giovinco up front, replacing Drogba, of course, a very different player. This is Oxlade-Chamberlain to inject some pace in the Arsenal attack, and still going. Some looking cutback, but again, there's nobody there. Kleshchin will take a touch, and now Waston has possession.
So certainly the second half team for the All-Stars has got real quality in it in terms of looking after the ball, as we see here.
Giovinco, clever for Kleshchin. Giovinco once again, first time for Piatti. Got options in, Nacho Piatti. Acosta will thrash towards goal, it's over the bar.
Bellerin's done brilliantly against Piatti there. Looked like he's just unbalanced him. He looks like he want to cut into that right-hand side, open up the goal, but read the situation really well. And Bellerin with games has got better defensively. Look at him 1v1, shows a lot down the outside, but knows Piatti wants to come onto that stronger right foot and open up the goal.
Going to see a change here for the All-Stars, and Acosta's last act was to wildly fire over, and it's Brandon Vincent that's coming on. MLS rookie season for Vincent. This is club football for Chicago Fire.
Getting better year in, year out, because better players are coming over at earlier stages of their career. But what they have to do to sustain is they have to develop their own player through these academies that they're doing in. The likes of him, and as we said earlier, Rosenberg, these are the guys that you want to see coming to the fore now.
Yeah, apparently the Arsenal players were suggesting as much in the run-up to this game. Interesting to hear from Theo Walcott saying that it is getting closer to the standard of European leagues. Games growing, getting big. Suggesting it's exactly what we want. A game to build in North America.
Yeah, absolutely. We're seeing players coming over there now, maybe 2 or 3 years earlier than they were doing in previous seasons, and that will help the league develop. They'll face challenges, of course they will, because of what's happening in China, but the Premier League is facing challenges because of the money that is involved in China. But certainly when you look at the situation now with the MLS, it's a real strong league. We're talking about attendance, they're averaging 21,000 each week. I mean, that will
approach the hour. Much more even you feel in this second period. Arsenal not bossing the game as they did for periods in the first half, but a balance about the All-Star side, as Gary was pointing out. Diaz has certainly helped in that department. Nagbe will always help. This is Giovinco, foul over on the right-hand side. Kleshchin calling for it, so he's done into Nagbe. Piatti edge of the box, but the cross isn't good enough.
Looks to get forward at every opportunity that side, but he'd be disappointed with that type of cross because you should have more quality in them areas. Once you get into those areas, you work so hard to get there, you can't let yourself down with that type of lack of technique.
All his career at New England Revolution. First touch lets him down a little. Nagbe is busy going forward. Diaz likewise, and helps it on for Piatti. He's got Giovinco looking to hold his run. Here is Giovinco. Still going, and still can't quite get the shot away. Content to try and find an outlet. Kleshchin can here fire it back inside the penalty area. Patient build-up play from the All-Stars this time, but it's Diaz that loses possession, and it's Arsenal that come away with the ball. Houston to force it back to Bingham. Walcott staying on, he's played an hour. Obviously no Olivier Giroud, Arsenal's top scorer last season after discussions with France, and Alexis Sanchez with an ankle injury sustained in the Copa America, but not too serious by all accounts. 2 main goal getters from last campaign missing, and of course the main goal creator, Mesut Ozil, who managed 19 assists in the Premier League. Missing this particular trip because of what he did European. I won't get to that. Arsenal have it with Xhaka. Short, sharp passage from Xhaka so far. It's renowned for pinpoint accuracy from 40, 50, 60 yards. That's through towards Giovinco. Chambers across.
It's brilliant for Holding on his debut for Arsenal to play against someone like Giovinco, because the movement is there. Initially he looks to go short to receive the ball, just brings Holding with him, and then in that moment spins in behind him and you can't recover. This is a massive learning curve for Holding. I'm sure he'll get better, because in situations in this game this evening he's done brilliantly in terms of reading situations, adjusting his body, getting his body shape right.
Looks to go again here. Campbell drives to the edge of the box and then tries to cut it back for Walcott. Too many All-Stars players in the way. Baden turns away from Piatti. El Neni.
That's just what Arsenal wanted to do, get hold of the ball, keep control possession, just take a little bit of momentum out of the All-Stars attack, because they looked like they were getting ahead of steam, and just make them chase the ball for a little bit of time now.
El Neni. Iwobi with the ball for Oxlade-Chamberlain. Thought about it first time, but looks to go on the run instead, and still going. Tees it up to the far post. Monreal, who was coming in on the blind side, who's out of position now. And the All-Stars find a pocket of space over on the Arsenal left side of their defence. Momentum of the move lost once again. Giovinco looking to use his strength here. Holding does brilliantly.
It's a big season for Chambers. Obviously, a young player. Arsenal could really find the perfect position. Obviously centre back initially, then tried him at right full, struggled at times, and even tried to persevere with him in a holding midfield role, similar to what Eric Dyer does at Tottenham. But being comfortable on the ball at the half is very easy to take it in central midfield player on the half turn. It's a totally different skill set.
Okay, with the interception, comes to nothing. Here is Chess. Great start to an career before last after switching from Southampton, but a little off the pace when seen in first team action last campaign, which wasn't regularly as a starter. This is Iwobi. Took his chance late last campaign. Through once again. Real will have to stretch, but they're queuing up inside the penalty area. Lost it away.
Such a physical presence back there, Waston. Read the situation well, just got himself in a good area and cleared it down.
Further changes, and youngsters to come on. Zalalem, Akpom and Willock. Zalalem expected to progress a little quicker than he has done. On loan, of course, Rangers last campaign. He made his debut for Arsenal against Coventry a few years ago. Approaching the midway point of this second half, and Akpom, who last season only scored 3 goals in the second tier in England. We're also going to see Gideon Zalalem, Jeffrey Adelaide and Chris Willock, the last two 18 years old pair who played in the UEFA Youth League last season.
Zalalem was with particular note to all the supporters of MLS now. Jurgen Klinsmann been talking to him about trying to bring him into that national team, and Wenger's been very complimentary, saying, listen, he's got the quality, there's no doubt about that. If he's lacking anything, it's just in his physical development. Now, if he goes and plays in the second tier in Scottish football, that will toughen him up, there's no doubt about it. You'd hope that they would have reaped the benefit from that, and now he can challenge that first team squad. But Wenger's talked about maybe taking him out on loan again to kind of encourage him to come out of himself, develop even further.
19 now, started 15 games in Scotland last season. Germany born, grew up in the States, of course, spotted playing for only Rangers in the Dallas Cup, a prestigious youth tournament in the United States. So Wenger has got big plans, I'm sure, for a number of the youngsters on show the final 23 minutes. Hoping that they can do something and inspire those around them. He can pick up Alan. He was likened to Cesc Fabregas when he first came to the club. Played in pre-season games before. Of course, the star of the Emirates Cup last season was Reine Adelaide. Terrific French junior international. It's a shot from distance that is palmed away by Bingham. That's what the Arsenal fans want to see. Granit Xhaka can strike them.
Really can. He's picked that ball up in the deep area, found a bit of space, touches it out of his feet, no one engages him, drives forward and hits a fantastic strike.
Not a regular goal scorer in the Bundesliga.
Well, certainly the way teams defend against Arsenal deep, because they don't want to allow that space in behind, he will pick the ball up in those areas, and if he has that type of quality from that distance, then that's a great attribute for Arsenal.
Bailin. Welby looks to just divert it back. Chambers. Zalala, USA junior international. And he is again. Arsenal's turn to dominate play. Just over 20 minutes remaining. Reine Adelaide. And still going forward here. Wide of the target. And the youngster signed from Lens.
You can just understand why it's opened up his chance, but really should be just laying Bella in there for the overlap, because they've got 2-3-1 situation wide. We see it here again. Look, drives at the full-back. Now the releases Bella in, timing the run's brilliant. Would have been near on a certain goal, but just decision making as a young player. You've got all that to learn. You've got to make the time when it's right to shoot, when to pass.
A couple of cutbacks last season for Reine Adelaide. Chambers looking to use his pace to come across. He'll take plenty of confidence from running the England side that won the Toulon tournament. I think he'll know that he's got an opportunity early season with Mertesacker, of course, out injured. Here's Reine Adelaide again, through towards Akpom, who looks to turn and still going forward. He was brought down.
And Chuba Akpom just didn't get his first touch right, which would have seen him drive away from the defenders. We see you there, first touch out your feet there, you'd have been away. Doesn't do it, just allows him to get back, but shows great strength to draw the foul. And we know Arsenal got players of the highest quality to make these situations count.
Birnbaum takes him down, and Arsenal have a free kick. Xhaka's going to take this one on. We've seen him test Bingham already. What can the summer signing do here? Xhaka for Arsenal, well struck and well held by Bingham.
There was some real ferocity behind that strike, and we talked about him earlier on, but Bingham positioned himself brilliantly well, got his wall lined up perfectly, just managed to hold on.
Poor play though now as Reine Adelaide looks to take advantage here for Arsenal. Better defending on that occasion from the full-back, but eventually it bounces out of play. Brandon Vincent getting back. Wondolowski about to come on. And it's a huge moment for Wondolowski, and certainly the supporters here, one of their own, about to enter the fray. Great supporters know all about him. Piatti, the player, coming off. Applause from the Quakes fans as one of their own looks to make an impression here. And Clint Dempsey is the other player to come on. One or two boos from the Arsenal fans, giving his Spurs connections. And eventually we'll get this corner taken. Here is Dempsey, still banging in the goals in MLS. Nodded away towards Diaz.
Dempsey had such a good Premier League campaign. Over 200 appearances, approaching 60.
8 times on the wrong end of the scoreline. Diaz. Game's just lost a little shape with all the changes, but Giovinco always making himself available. Outside of the boot, looking to get cross in. It's everybody. No one can quite pull the trigger, and eventually from distance that's high wide. Not so handsome from Wiltrack.
He's got a wry smile there. His eyes lit up, he's shaking his head now, and why not? Go for it. This is what these games are about.
Difficult season for Columbus Crew. Outside of the playoff places at the moment, 7 points adrift. Trapa's been a rare plus point, really. Vincent will take the throw. Giovinco looking to help it on. Now a real opportunity here. Oh! Well, the centre from Dempsey needed to be better. Still the move alive here for the MLS All-Stars. And in the end, he's cleared.
I'm so surprised to see him pass. It looked like he was going to open up his body and look to whip it right foot at that far post, but once he made the decision to square it, he should really be executing it better than he did.
Two most recent substitutes looking to combine. Dempsey trying to find Wondolowski.
Arsenal have to be careful. We see Bellerin looking to attack. Yes, he's an attacking forward back, but he just leaves that defensive area too quickly and it forwards then Dempsey all that type of space.
Here's Willock. Zalanen in Adelaide. First touch a little heavy. 15 minutes remaining here. One apiece. And it will go to penalties if it stays the same. Willock again on the left-hand side. Arsenal coming forward in numbers. Where is the opening for the Gunners? Xhaka. Good strong play from Farrell. Got a bit of a weight advantage, you suggest, against the teenager?
No, listen, you don't want to be getting to a shoulder charge with him. This is a guy I've seen more often than not right back, but play centre half because of that physical presence.
Just a cameo from Giovinco, who missed the All-Stars game last season because of injury. Kyle Larin, the Orlando striker, is coming on, and many wondered if he could do this season what he did last campaign. And he's the doubts as wrong, that's for certain, because he's been amongst the goals once again. 10 this season, 17 last.
That everyone says no one really knows about you that first season. They all know the second. Can you do it then? And he's answered all those critics.
There's plenty of attacking options now for Dominic Kinnear's side. The All-Stars have Dempsey on, Wondolowski, who scored against Chelsea in the 2012 All-Stars game, a 3-2 success then. Fourth appearance for him. Dempsey we know all about, of course, although he's never scored in an All-Stars game. And now Larin has been attracting many scouts from Europe. Canadian international. Looks like he's going to play right up top.
Isn't it great as a supporter to see this happening? You get to see all the stars of your league playing in a team together, and you know these supporters had a massive say in actually who gets selected. Of course they do, and that's something that would be great to see in the Premier League in terms of when the best teams picked.
This is Rain Adelaide looking to conjure something after Iwobi's ball. Well, he's certainly been involved, the French youngster. It's another on the fringes, you feel, of that first team squad. Whether he'll go out on loan remains to be seen. Being managed for a second, but then digs it out. All-Stars haven't been as dynamic in the last 7 or 8 minutes or so, maybe even more. Last time we had a shootout was back in the 2009 edition, Everton beating the All-Stars by 4 goals to 3. Dominic Kinnear was in charge then. we get a winner? Will it be decided by spot kicks? Either way, it's been a good workout, you feel, for Arsene Wenger's side, and the All-Stars seemingly have enjoyed it as well. We've seen all of the big names in action. And Nick Kinnear has made sure that everyone's got some minutes on the pitch. This is Darlington Nagbe, Portland Timbers schema. Diaz, shown briefly when he first came on, been a little quiet in the last 5 minutes. That's a little sloppy as well. Van was giving the ball away. And this is Akpom on the right-hand side. Can he get the shot away? And still going, and still wants to knock it towards the far post. It's nodded away. Just enough on that occasion from Birnbaum. Arsenal coming on strong as we're about to enter the final 10. This is Willock. Now he's with Baird in, whips it in. Just can't convert. That's good defending. Diaz against Xhaka. Diaz once again. There is space for Vincent on this left-hand side. Looks to control, just about keeps it in play and digs out the cross for Larin. Awkward bounce. And Diaz goes down, but doesn't really look for the spot kick. Game just beginning to get a little open.
Yeah, that's what you want, end-to-end stuff now. Both teams tracing the winner.
Rain Adelaide. Zalana. And down the line. Iwobi. Zalala once again. Rain Adelaide for Xhaka. Still supporters wanting to shoot. Declines the opportunity. Crowded out. Monreal makes a move, but he's ignored for now. Philip looks to use his body and does manage to keep it in play, and then Vincent slides it.
You can see these young Arsenal players, and you can see the schooling, the education they've had, moving the ball, pass, move. It's whether or not they've got that ability to go to this elite level and force their way into this Arsenal squad.
Zalala. Rain Adelaide loses out. All-Stars have it once again. Is he looking to try and get Larin on his way on the right-hand side as Chambers got the pace to get across? It's still Kyle Larin here and still going forward, looking to try and tear Wondolowski!
You can't believe it. It's teed up for him, the local boy, to get the winner. And you have to look at the defending by Chambers here again. How he allowed that run to go across the front of him. Play there by Larin against. Holds it up, finds it. Wondolowski, that's how many times have we seen him put those away in the far corner. What an opportunity missed.
117 regular season goals for all his clubs, 245 appearances. He's weighed in with 8 this campaign. All with the national side, of course. Twice MLS top goal scorer at Wando. Scored 10 or more in his last 6 seasons and just 2 shy for this campaign, which I'm sure he'll get. Nagbe. Diaz. Wondolowski looking to find Larin on this occasion. Repay a compliment. The Admiral here is good to just move into the path of Chuba Akpom, who will try and lay it back. Zalala, Xhaka. And again. Monreal. He will be calling for it. Zalala wants it. Akpom edge of the box. Just moves the wrong side of Waston. And away. Holding under pressure as well.
Yeah, he can be very happy with his performance. He's been assured, composed, read situations very well, got himself into good early positions, but you can certainly have Looks like he's one for the future.
This is Iwobi, who could be one for now, and still Alex Iwobi steps away from one challenge and another. Looks to go for glory himself when there were options, and it's blocked.
Chuba Akpom is furious with him. Why he doesn't just roll it down the side? But Iwobi's used Akpom's run as a decoy. It's opened up for him, but he just can't get out of his feet to make the connection.
The youngsters are hungry. They can sense a winner. And Xhaka provide from the corner. Plenty forward in red and white. Chambers and holding up from the back as well. Lots to aim at here. Plenty of movement in the box. Only with a header! That would have been some debut.
And he's picked the flight of it all the way. The outswinger left-footed corner. And just look at him there. Takes the flight. It's up early. Should really be hitting the target then. You can see his frustration.
Just a one goal for Bolton last campaign at MK Dons in a 3-1 home win back in January. Diaz. Nagbe. Time for the All-Stars to come forward. Can they snatch it with just over 5 minutes remaining? Shadows lengthen across the pitch. Killed to the edge of the box once again. Dempsey does well. Wondolowski to the right-hand side. Plenty forward. Wondolowski is one of them. Chambers this time in front of Wando. Will nod behind.
Good positioning by Chambers there. That ball goes wide. Any centre half, the initial thought should be to get in line with that near post and say to the guy on the ball, right, beat me now. And Chambers, good defending.
Diaz with a corner. Away by Akpom. Vincent will drive in. Just needed a better feed to this near side. Wondolowski was waiting. Huge clearance downfield. Rayan Adelaide will try and make something of it. Iwobi. Xhaka. Arsenal with plenty forward inside the box. Twists and turns and looks to try and play it for Monreal here. Must be! Chuba in the right place at the right time. Could not miss. And with 4 minutes remaining, Arsenal are in front.
How many times have we seen Monreal making those supporting runs from deep, giving you the overlap option, and the timing of it was perfect. Release to him. Drove the ball across that 6-yard box. So difficult to mark. Here's the run in the left-hand part of your screen. There it is. Hold, release. There you go. Now you're just driving it in there, and Akpom. They're the type of goals you want as a centre forward.
Couldn't miss. Chuba Akpom puts Arsenal in front. Right at the end of the second half. In and out the side at Hull last season on loan, of course. Didn't score as many goals as he would have before, that's for certain. Just the 3 in the Championship. He's had 1 or 2 opportunities for Arsenal in the Premier League. He's been a substitute on 4 occasions. Loaned to the likes of Brentford, Coventry and Nottingham Forest over the years. He's 20 now, and well, if you're a striker, you've got to be in the group, I guess, haven't you?
He always seems to get his goals in these pre-season games. But he's at a real crossroads in his career, no doubt about that. You said about his loans, Brentford and Coventry didn't go particularly well, Hull as well, so it'd be fascinating, interesting to know what the decision is made by Wenger in terms of what they do next in this hugely significant part of his career. Because he's a talented player and he's got goals in him, there's no doubt about that.
Well, it turns away. Berin. Zalalem. It's the youngsters that have shone in this second half for Arsene Wenger's side. Jack has been that calming influence, holding midfield, but The rest, graduates that have come through. One or two marquee signings that are still young though, the likes of Chambers and Holding. Monreal, a bit of experience on the pitch, I guess. But it's been a useful workout for all concerned, and the All-Stars certainly have contributed here. Haven't seen as much cut and thrust in this second half, but it's understandable given the heat and the changes of personnel over the course of the last half hour, and certainly at the start of the second half. But I think the All-Stars, by and large, will be pleased how they've matched up against some of the senior players in that first period. The younger players come through, you've been talking about, Gary. I think it's a really good education.
Really successful in MLS teaming. If you're a fan coming and watching, you've got to see all the best players in your league, icons of world football, young players coming through. There's been a real feel-good factor in the whole lead up to this game, and I think this fixture is going to get stronger and stronger as the years go by.
This is Larry looking to come forward after some brilliant play from Dempsey. Half a chance, quarter chance maybe. It's not over with just yet. Stars scramble the leveller. And at the end of the first period, they're looking for something similar here as the 90 draws ever closer. Arsenal were beaten by the Red Bulls on the last occasion they came to the States. They got the better of an Independiente side in the late 80s in Miami. They actually played an indoor game a few seasons prior to that. In their first ever foray to the United States, they were beaten 7-5 in a game that featured rolling subs, and it's all a little bit odd. But this particular vintage look like they're going to strike glory courtesy of Chuba Akpom's late close range effort. Will it be the winner? Not if Dempsey has anything to do about it. And Nagbe's cross towards Larry. He's pounced upon. Martinez reads it well.
And to get to the byline then, you're really looking to cut it back, but unfortunately Larin hasn't attacked across that near post. Had he done so, he'd have put Arsenal a lot of trouble with only a minute to go.
Just the 2 minutes of added on time, we've had a minute of it. Monreal, Xhaka, picked some neat passes. That one shot that troubled Bingham in the second half. He can be pleased with his run out. Much more to come from him, I'm sure. That's a little sloppy. Zalala nearly allowing Will Trapp in.
This is the frustration with Arsenal. There's a minute to go to see the game out. Yes, it's a pre-season friendly, but it's about getting in good habits. Two fullbacks in high advanced areas. You don't have to go and get a third. Just defend properly, stay behind the ball, and make sure you win this game 2-1.
Larin, Diaz, strong play from Chambers. Monreal helps out, and the full-time whistle sees Arsenal claim success in the All-Star game. Dominic Kinnear and Arsene Wenger shake hands. A good workout for the All-Stars, certainly. Dominic Kinnear couldn't fashion the win against an Arsenal side who went ahead through Campbell on 11 minutes. A penalty after he was brought down by Seaman. Drogba inevitably on the score sheet made it 1-1. Before Chuba Akpom right at the death after some good build-up play, giving Arsenal success by 2-1. Let's take a look back at the match highlights from an entertaining clash between the MLS All-Stars and Arsenal. This is the penalty incident, an awkward challenge from Simon. Chris Penso pointing to the spot.
Yeah, a little mixed up between Simon and Blake, which happens, we said, in terms of defending and understanding as a new team, but Campbell showed strength to win it and then real quality to put that in the corner. Blake was so frustrated because he's gone full length. It didn't look like he committed to but you've seen what it means there. Campbell want to get his goals.
No doubt that MLS All-Stars had opportunities in the first half. They managed to take one of them. Didier Drogba scoring yet again against Arsenal. 3 times a charm.
How many headlines have we seen now? Scores against Arsenal. This is